build is beginning with the Forge. Now, the first unit out of the robotics facility for Pomi will be an observer. It's about halfway completed. It is not being chrono boosted. And he doesn't have any chrono boost energy. He is using that chrono boost energy to boost in some probes. McDuff's, anything you'd like to add at this point?
We are seeing them sit at about the same harvester count, Jim, as we get into it.
Yeah, 37 harvesters each on 2 bases.
Decent creep spread, and it looks like we're going to see the first. Attack here, or a little poke from Pomi, as those roaches ward off the attack.
16 roaches now for Dimaga, so Dimaga's got a lot of roaches.
We also see that there is roach speed being researched right now, as well as burrow.
Right.
Important.
Fantastic. Yep, that's an interesting choice by Dimaga. You know, Dimaga's at 87 food count. Pomi's at 68 food count. And Pomi is, in fact, supply blocked at this point. So he's laying down a pylon. And he's got 55 chrono boost on one Nexus and 30 chrono boost on another, so he's going to use the chrono boost. He seems to be using it for chrono boosting in new worker units.
Keeping up on those those probes.
And notice the observer here going right through Dimaga's base.
Seeing all 27 of his roaches.
Absolutely. Boy, that's smooth. I like the way you put that. Good segue there, McDuffs. Well done.
Thanks.
No problem. I just hope I'm not coming off as condescending or sarcastic, that's all.
Everybody's going to take it that way anyway. It is you.
Okay, thermal lance being researched,
as well as level one attack upgrades for the ground units.
And check this out, really nice force fields by Dimaga. By Pomi. I don't think Pomi can take on this force one-on-one. So these force fields are lifesavers.
That's right, and then Observer's just going to go back and follow the roaches around a little bit.
Yeah, obviously a very dangerous army, and so a wise decision. And now Dimaga's up to 40 roaches, man. Wow, that's a pretty brutal force.
That's right.
Now, of course, we see one Immortal and one Colossus, a second Colossus coming out of the robotics facility. So it's interesting that instead of going for an Immortal, he's electing to go Colossus against this giant pack of roaches.
And you know,
it'll be fast. Go ahead.
If Pomi went with Vikings, he could pick off a lot of those roaches. There is really no anti-air force for Zerg.
Yeah, unfortunately, Zergs don't have Vikings, so he can't do that.
Oh, I mean, not sorry. Yeah.
Corruptors?
No, I was talking about Pomi getting the Phoenixes. That's what I meant to say. Right,
Protoss doesn't have Vikings, but yeah, he'd need a Stargate for that. He doesn't have one. But another gateway, a 5th gateway, or in this case, I guess you say Warp Gate. So another Colossus is coming out. It will be fascinating to see how these Colossus deal with this mass of roaches. And Observer going along. Now, you know what? I think this Observer following his army indicates that he's afraid of Burrow.
I agree, yeah.
So we're seeing a 3rd Colossus.
And 60 roaches now for Dimaga.
And they're not upgraded. They're 0 attack, 0 carapace.
That's right. And you know, he's using that Observer very well by taking out all of those creep tumors.
Yep, and Pomi's got +1 attack. And look at this, ring around the rosy.
That's right.
Protoss catches Zerg out of position.
Done.
Oh, Zerg's in big trouble now, way out of position.
Oh no. All those force fields, man.
Zerg is way out of position, folks. Pomi did a great move. Let's see if these roaches can live through all of this. Look at all these force fields.
Yeah, but look at all those roaches too, man.
True.
But I don't know, it's...
look at this. This one got rejected there. It's trying to...
It's not looking good. Dimaga has lost all his roaches, throws out the GG. Pomi takes the win. We've got a Protoss victory for the first round here.
Death to the enemies of Ire. Do not hesitate. Aram Fasha, assist your commander. A noble end. Death to the enemies of Ire.
Hopefully Dimaga can turn it around for himself, as we saw all those roaches get smashed by the Sentry Colossus Stalker combo.
And I think the big thing was that little dance around the hole in the middle
Yeah,
of
caught him way
Dimaga
off
Cap.
guard for sure.
And it forced the roaches in this weird position. So that probably was the difference in the game, I think.
And here we go into the next round.
And of course, relying on one unit. You know what I mean? Just relying on roaches only, that's a little bit risky.
That's for sure.
Especially that deep into a game.
And here we go. Non-stop action. Alright, everybody, welcome to IMBA TV, where everything is imbalanced. I'm MC Dustin, with me is Jim Rayner. We're bringing you the finals, well, the qualifier for the King of the Month event held by SC Streams and Bits Per Beat. And it's going to be Dimaga versus Rock's Kiss Pomi. And we see Rock's Kiss Pomi sitting at 1 point, as we do have them in the farthest location away from each other. So why don't you take it away from here, Jim?
All right. So this is a best 3 out of 5 series. Pomi leads at 1-0. This is the largest 1-versus-1 map, Shakuris Plateau. These players have spawned in the farthest possible distance away from each other. Of course, this could mean a heavy macro game in 200 units versus 200 units. It's hard to say. What we probably won't see, because the players, it's a 4-player map, so these players don't know for certain where their enemy is. We're probably, the likelihood of a cheese build is almost 0. Let's see if we get a gateway or a forage here from Pomi. He's got his 150, and it is a gateway. Now, no major decisions are required yet by Dimaga. Dimaga's up to 13 drones and has 150 minerals. So Dimaga doesn't have to make a decision yet, but Dimaga elects to build an extractor first. Then a spawning pool. So no fast expansion for Dimaga. A scouting probe by Pomi will find absolutely nothing up here, and just by process of elimination, Pomi will figure out where Dimaga is located, but obviously he won't know his build order until about the 3-minute mark. So when he does discover his build order, it's probably not going to be a stunning shock.
Yeah, that's for sure.
So, and here comes the probe. No expansion. So Pomi's going to put that in his hip pocket and make that, put that as memory banks. Pomi is basically walling off the front of his ramp again, as per standard by Protoss when they fight Zerg. That is the cybernetics core. Dimaga has pulled all of his drones off of gas, as he did in Game 1. Pomi is going to contest the expansion within Dimaga's natural expansion area by laying down a pylon. It'll be interesting to see if he cancels it or not.
A nice move with the probe. He laid it down and then took the probe out of there and moved it, above. So he's going to be able to come in and do some later game scouting, or even throw a proxy up there.
That's an interesting location for that probe. Now, Pomi's second fighting unit will be a stalker. His first unit is a zealot, blocking off his front entrance completely. Dimaga still isn't getting any more gas, but he is laying down a second hatchery. Zerglings on the move. Zergling speed research is, you know what, I haven't even looked, but I'll bet you it's about 3/4 done at this time.
It's just about finished, yeah, about 80%.
Yeah. I know, I didn't even look at, just based on Dimaga's build, I had a feeling that's what was going on. A second and a third gateway by Pomi. So far, this game is developing in a very similar fashion as Game 1. The only difference is that Pomi let his pylon in the natural expansion complete. Other than that, this game is a virtually identical.
That's right. Jim, keep in mind, earlier you said it was a best of 5, but it is a best of 3 series.
Oh, is it really?
It is.
Oh, okay. Great.
Just wanted to clarify for those.
Yeah, no problem. Now we got speed Zerglings on the move. Interesting that the Zerglings found the wayward probe that was in the top left-hand corner.
Yeah.
Some very
good scouting and map awareness.
Yep, excellent. And warp gates are up. So warp gate technology has been successfully researched, obviously. Pomi will now be, well, Pomi's got 3 sentries to back up the Stalker and the Zealot, and we see chrono boosting, and we see 4 gateways, and notice that Pomi is chrono boosting in 3 fighting units. So is Pomi going to make a push?
Very well could. He is moving a probe out with his unit, so that does indicate some type of a push or maybe expansion, as these Lings are going to be contested and have to move back home.
Now these Zerglings are just going to get beat up, and he's got to run for his life, and this is going to force Dimaga to lay down spine. And notice he canceled the gas.
Yeah, I saw that.
So he's laying down spine crawlers. He's got a roach horn, so he's going to be building as many roaches and Zerglings as he can. And he's got spine crawlers on the way, and he's going to need every one of them, because here comes a whole pack of Protoss power: 6 Stalkers, 3 Zealots, 3 Sentries. Right now, Dimaga's got 8 more workers than Pomi, and he's mining off of 2 bases. The problem is he might not be able to defend this push, folks. Here we go.
That's right. This is a heavy push. And here comes there's the Guardian Shield. Here comes the probe right into the front lines.
And he's going to back. Is he going to back off? Oh, he's just backing away from the spine crawler. He wants to take the army.
And he takes the Queen down.
Yeah, he wants to take the army and the spine crawlers on separately. That's what he wants to do. I'm surprised Dimaga didn't pull back and force him into the spine crawler fire.
Definitely.
He must have had something else on his mind. Now, at this point, Dimaga's worker lead has been diminished to only 4, and Pomi is putting up an expansion in his natural expansion area. One unique feature of Shakuris Plateau is his natural expansion is in the high ground area. So that does sometimes make it a little more easily defendable. Now, an interesting move here: after 4 gateways, we see a Stargate.
Yep.
So Pomi is collecting from from 2 assimilators. He's got 250 gas in the bank, and we now see where it's going. It's going to be going towards, well, sentries and probably a Void Ray or a Phoenix will be next. I suspect a Phoenix because of the size of the map. He might want to use that Phoenix to scout, and the speed of the Phoenix is more valuable on a larger map.
That's right, and Lair Tech is just about finished. I'm interested to see on what Dimaga's going to go with after that, whether it's going to be Roach speed or if he's going to get some anti-air type of units, which is what he's going to need to do, because we got Void Rays coming out.
Oh, it is? Wow. Okay. Now, also, at this point, Dimaga's worker count sits at 15 higher. Dimaga's at 45 workers, mining off of 2 bases. Pomi has got 30 workers mining off of just 1, and now a second one's going to go up. It'll be interesting to see if Dimaga expands or if he attempts to use this economic advantage in the next couple of minutes in order to exploit some kind of an attack. And look at this. Pomi again taking a probe, putting it in the top left-hand corner. Was that Dimaga that lagged?
I don't know. It was too fast for me to see.
Okay, Dimaga did have some issues earlier today in the ESL event. Hopefully, it's okay. And here comes that scouting probe, and it's going to die fast. So, Pomi, go ahead.
We also see Roach speed and Burrow being researched, and level 1 ranged attack. Nothing yet in the ways of anti-air, Jim.
That's bad news.
Yes.
These Void Rays are, I don't know much about StarCraft, but I do know that Roach Zerglings can attack air. I do know that. And again, Dimaga is relying on 21 roaches, man. No, a ton of roaches, folks. And these Void Rays are going to be bad news.
That's right. The third one is out and going to be moving across the board.
And a robotics facility is being warped in. So right now, let's take a careful look. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4 warp gates, 1 Stargate, and a robotics facility on its way. The Void Rays, I guess, he's going to be trying some kind of a surprise attack.
Well, he's going to surprise Dimaga's new expansion, that's for sure.
Let's see if he spots the Changeling. The Changeling is going to... There we go. And Dimaga now is aware of Void Rays.